Hi, so I hope everyone's well today. In this video we're going to be looking at finding the area under a graph for parametric equations. Okay, so we have this formula here, and if you look at it, it's very similar to the formula we had for finding the area under a curve when we just had a Cartesian equation. So what we had there, we would have the integral between x1, x2, y times dx, and the difference here is we've now got dx by dt times dt, and you see that cross cancels to give us back the Cartesian equation. So it's similar, so you need to just make sure you can use this. So here's an example so we can practice. Find the area and the curve for this parametric equation. So we've got y equals t squared plus t, x equals 2t between x equals 2 and 4. So when we look at here, we see the things we need. We need the limits here, and then we need dx by dt. So we work out all the bits and then substitute them in. So I want to find the limits in terms of t, and I've got them in terms of x. I'm going to use this formula here, but I'm just going to rewrite it to have it in terms of t. So t equals x over 2. I then substitute in my limits, so when x equals 2 and x equals 4. So when x equals 2, 2 over 2 gives me 1, t equals 1. And when x equals 4, 4 over 2 gives me 2. So I've got my limits. I then need to find dx by dt. So I just look at this equation here, and I differentiate with respect to t. So that just gives me the 2. And then I shove everything in the formula up here. So I put in my limits, the integral between 1 and 2. I put in my y, there's my y. I put in my dx by dt, there's my dx by dt. And then I integrate. So remember, when you integrate, you add 1 to the power and divide by the adjusted power. So this will become t cubed over 3. But you've got to times it by 2, so that's 2t cubed over 3, and this becomes t squared over 2, then times by 2, so it just gives you t squared. Okay, now we want to substitute our limits in. We start with the top one, so we substitute t equals 2 in first, and then we take away the bottom one. So we put t equals 2 in here, and we get 16 over 3 plus 4, and then don't forget you take away. Then we put t equals 1 in here, so that's 2 times 1 over 3 plus 1, so that gives you 2/3 plus 1. And then you work out and get your answer. Now, if your fraction work isn't perfect and you have a tendency to make mistakes, I really strongly recommend just shoving that in your calculator, because it's silly having done all that lovely good work to make a mistake on some fraction work. Okay, I hope that's helpful. Good luck.